wants to be in the call or not.
So all I want is Franker Z for Area 4. First 2 bubble makers. That's it. Really difficult to do with fire.
Is there a spot you guys need to start from for a timer? Is there a clear like title screen?
As soon as Bill Sprite just jumps off the rope of the chopper.
Okay, but you guys can start at the same time. You have the same cue for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think this works like the first Contra.
No, it doesn't. Okay. All right. All right.
Well, they got to hit start at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Sure.
fine. Both players are ready. Fiesel's ready. Let's do this Super C in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right, Super C. You guys just watched the original Contra. This was the sequel, still on the NES, obviously. Once again, you're Bill Reiser in your cut-up blue pants and your shirtless action with your bandana. Now, a couple differences you're going to see between B-Boy's run and Dazzle's run. They're going to start off the same. A lot of Super C, there's a lot more spawns in Super C, so a lot of this game is going to be reducing lag by killing spawns when you can. But in order to keep moving fast, you're going to have to let them build up at some point and then turn around and take them out. B-Boy's going to pick up the fire, so is Dazzle at this point. But B-Boy's going to try to hang on to the fire. Now, one of the big changes between Contra and Super C is the weapons. They figured that spread had been a little bit too overpowered in the original Contra, which if you've ever played it, you know. B-Boy losing the fire there, so he's going to have to go with the pea shooter against it. But you can actually, they've upgraded the fire weapon where you can actually do a charge shot. So you can hold down the shoot button and actually shoot a charged fire shot. And that allowed Dazzle to take that chopper out really fast. B-Boy does run this game in low percent, which is just playing with the pea shooter and no power-up. So he's going to be okay till he gets to his next drop. The spread gun, like I said, was way overpowered in Contra 1. So it still does a lot of damage during the levels, but the spread gun actually does less damage to the bosses in Super C. So they made the spread do a lot less damage to the bosses. So B-Boy was able to pick his fire back up there, and he's just right behind Dazzle, who's still using the fire at this point, but did take a death there. There's a couple of pixels where you can walk right in between these guys, and you'll see them take advantage of it on a few of these overhead levels, which is also a new thing from the old Contra, these overhead views. There's a couple spots where you just kind of walk cleanly on this level, and then I'll point it out a little bit later when you're in the alien's belly. I think that's where we are anyway. There's like a rib cage and little mites and stuff running around. But so now you see one has spread, one has fire, both powerful weapons in this game. So there's not just one powerful weapon in Super C. So B-Boy is able to take him out quickly with the charge shots. Dazzle gets to the side, and they're pretty synced up right now. So the next level is going to be a jungle level. It's another side-scrolling. Back to the side-scrolling. You're gonna have. It's a lot like the first. A little bit like, well, I guess a little bit like the first jungle in Contra. With you have the snipers behind the trees. This time they're up in the trees as well, and you have these guns in the ground, which you can actually jump over. The spawn build-up on this level just gets insane, and there is a ton of lag that's happening. Oh, and Dazzle just missed time the kill on that cannon. which it is possible to jump over that cannon without killing it, but it's pretty, I think it's a frame perfect trick or pixel perfect, whatever you want to call it. It's tough, but it can be done. So Dazzle taking a couple of deaths here is going to want to just be a little bit careful since you don't have that many lives. B-Boy managing to hang on to the fire. He's trying to keep moving forward while also taking out enemies behind him. And the jump and shooting down with the fire and spread and even the pea shooter works as well. When you jump and shoot down, the bullets will take out the enemies directly behind you. Now they're taking out the spider boss. Shouldn't be too difficult for B-Boy with the fire weapon. It takes a little bit more mashing when you just have the original gun that you start with. But Dazzle's played this enough. He knows exactly what to do. But does unfortunately take a hit there as it's blowing up. Now in this part where where it's caving in, if you start running far enough to the right, so Dazzle does have to continue there from the jungle. B-Boy, when you're running far enough to the right of the screen, you actually don't have to worry about the ground going down. You can outrun all of it. And B-Boy using the charged fire shots takes that boss out, no problem. So now B-Boy's gonna head inside, I guess it's like the alien ship or something, and they bring back the bubbles. So the bubbles that you saw in the base 2 boss shot out, they've made a whole level out of the bubbles. You have that first section of bubbles, which is really difficult to get through without getting hit, and there's a couple of troll bullets that follow you every time. Then there's a jumping section, and then there's actually an auto-scroller in Super C. B-Boy doing some nice bullet dodging there. Getting up to that first auto-scroller. And here's those bubbles. You'll probably recognize them from the base 2 boss in Contra 1. And there's not a whole lot you can do at this point. There's going to be a few cannons that should keep you from getting too bored, but you kind of have to wait for this to go up. And Dazzle getting back to the to the spider. Takes another game over, unfortunately. It's a very Super C is very unforgiving without a powered up weapon. With the number of spawns that it shoots at you, it's much more difficult low percent. I mean, both Contras are insanely difficult low percent, so I don't know that it's more difficult, but it's just not an easy game when you don't have a powered up weapon. So some more bullet dodging here. That's really all you can do, bubble and bullet dodge on these auto-scrollers. The key is just stay alive and keep your weapon. Oh, and then just missed that bubble there, so B-Boy's going to lose his fire for now. There should be another power-up coming. Oh no, he's gonna have to face the boss with just his pea shooter gun, as we call it, the pew 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 gun. So this boss is pretty tricky when you don't have fire or spread. These teeth or whatever they are will shoot down at you. The trick with any weapon is to take out the middle ones first. That way you can bounce freely in the middle and take out the ends on both sides, depending on which ones are up. When they're up is when you can take them out. B-Boy, having played this low percent many times, does a really nice job there taking that boss out quickly. Dazzle's going to pause here, get his spread back. He was running on the edge, which did prevent him from having to worry about the ground caving in, and he gets to the boss with the spread. Now, this level that B-Boy's on now is similar to the waterfall level in Contra 1. They add a lot more slopes, some gaps in the slope, a lot more spawns, and a lot more guns. You even have jetpack guys shooting at you. Pretty much anything the developers could think, what would suck to be coming at you as you climbed a mountain. They said, oh, jetpack guys aren't enough. How about giant purple boulders just falling from the sky? But once you know those are on a set pattern, once you know the pattern, you know exactly where to take them out. And then you got to climb down this area. There's going to be guns and a crap load of spawns coming out of all these doors just to make life miserable for you before you get down to another alien spaceship boss. Now, B-Boy's going to pause a little bit. The boss doesn't become vulnerable until a certain point. He's vulnerable now. He's charging his fire gun, and just 3 fired charges from that gun lets him take that out really quickly. And he's going to go inside the alien. So B-Boy enters the alien as Dazzle's dealing with the auto-scrollers. Now I think we're actually inside like the alien's belly or something here. And B-Boy's going to be looking for, well, this first section he's going to be walking through these mouths that come out of the ground. I don't know if that's in the stomach or the digestive tract or whatever, but, you know, after the alien deals with Bill Reiser, he may want to go get that checked out. But Bill's going to walk his shirtless, manly self through here. And B-Boy, they're actually... Oh, he just missed it. You can find a line through this craziness of red mites that allows you to walk cleanly through there. It's a little bit easier with the spread gun because the spread takes more of them out at a time. So maybe a little difficulty there with the fire, finding that line. But he is, like I said, experienced with the low percent, so he's used to the pea shooter, he's used to having a mash. Now with this mouth, there's a couple places you can stand that are completely safe, that just let you hit the boss as many times as needed to kill it without worries about any of the other side enemies that are happening. You know, like weird snake guys coming out of his tubular arms or whatever those are. So B-Boy's just going to sit right there, shoot a bunch of bullets into his mouth, and go on his way. Dazzle's reaching the tooth boss. You'll see the difference here with spread on this boss. No need to take out the middle when you can just rip through it with the spread gun. Now B-Boy's going to be going down further into the alien's belly. And he's gonna time his jumps with taking out the enemies, so he knows exactly how many more shots he has, so he can time the last few bullets with his jump to keep his momentum going forward as quickly as possible. This part is sort of a pain, shooting down through these green blobs or whatever they are. I guess you're going down through his digestive tract, maybe the esophagus, and he'll be able to pick up a spread gun right here, which is going to make a big difference. These pods are similar to Contra 1 with the final heart level, where you had pods shooting out these scorpion things. These are much smaller, and these must be just babies compared to what was coming out before. And getting down to the boss, B-Boy, if you stand just right of center, it's the perfect place to stand, especially with a spread gun where you can take out pretty much anything that could harm you. Anything else you just need to jump over, but you take him out fast enough that it doesn't matter. Dazzle taking out that boss in short order, no problem with the spread. Now he's going to be running inside the alien, and on Dazzle's stream we'll be able to point out that pixel line. Now B-Boy has a spread here. I don't know if he's going to try to grab fire back or not. He missed it there in the beginning. There's another opportunity to grab fire before the final boss. A lot of people prefer to either grab fire or just go back to the normal pea shooter gun for the very final boss, because B-Boy is on the final stage, because the spread is depowered against the final boss, so you can actually kill him a little bit more quickly with a gun other than the spread. But B-Boy is actually going for a trick here where you can scroll the screen a little bit to the left, commit suicide, and then jump, and then it respawns you further along the level. There's an additional trick where if you kill yourself one more time, or if you get killed by the wall, You can actually run up in the wall. Oh, B-Boy's decided to do that in the race here to show that off. It's a risky strat. You can risk soft locking the game. So you can see this does save a lot of time because you don't have to jump over a lot of the gaps that you have in the beginning. The tricky part about this part is that those aliens are crazy, and they'll actually jump those gaps a lot of times. Now, B-Boy's coming down, approaching the final boss. He just has the regular weapon, which is totally normal in a run like this. That's why they're totally willing to kill themselves in the beginning or to get the extra time save with the crushing wall because it's faster to have the pea shooter gun on this final boss. There's a place you can stand on his lower leg where nothing can hit you, and you can just stand and shoot diagonally up at his eye. And you just sit there and mash, and nothing can actually kill you. Red things will come out of his eyes, and B-Boy is able to take him out. Now he's going to do Invisible. Get ready for time on B-Boy. As Dazzle moves further down the esophagus, he's going to move down past the pods now. And that's a great race, B-Boy. Dazzle, he's going to show us his skills here on the pods and on this boss. Alright, so Dazzle's going to move on to the last stage. Spread weapon in tow. And we'll see if he goes for the wall glitch as well. And basically, he's just going to kind of wreck anything in his path, just to keep. He wants to shoot those alien heads that are up in the wall because those shoot those annoying little red tracker balls at you. And if you jump quickly enough, you can get up to that next ledge before the alien shoots the fireball. He's going to scroll the screen a little to the left and then go back. He's going to jump just at the right time in order to respawn up on top, which he did there. And we'll see if he goes for the wall glitch as well. See, he elects to skip fire and keep the pea shooter for the final boss. Yep, and he does a jump at the precise time. He's going to respawn up in the wall. This saves him from having to jump over a bunch of gaps, and it is a time save overall. It is risky for soft locking the game. However, in a record run, you know, when you could reset all you want, no sense in not going for it. Like I said, you saw some of those aliens not making the jump. Some of them will, though. Some of them are more the athletes, and they will make that jump, which can be quite annoying. So you do have to be aware of that. So Dazzle coming up on the final boss, and get ready for time on him as soon as he appears. The boss does like to make a nice long intro. He's sort of the diva of bosses. Dazzle with a little swag, hanging out on top until he appears. And jumping down right into the pixel so we can mash his way through this guy. He was actually a little bit higher up than the normal pixel, but it didn't matter with those mashing skills.
Shoutouts to Dazzle. He is the best. He's the one who was the first one to get a 2-cycle on the Area 7 boss, which is huge for the game and can make this game go down even lower. He is the world record holder, so mad props to Dazzle. That's all I have to say.
Yep, and great race, B-Boy. Good win. And, you know, proud of both of you for going for the wall glitch.
Oh yeah, that wall glitch is a soft lock, so yeah, I've actually managed to soft lock in a race before. Very risky strats. I also really liked showing that I did the fire and Dazzle did more of the spread, which is I'm still working on it and just really happy for the race and for this marathon. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for staying up so late, or the Contra runners for staying up so late.